Now, every single person I meet tells me they want to feel a spark. You know, they want to meet someone where they feel like they've got so much in common and they've known each other forever. You know, those conversations that just flow and they actually build a connection between two people and they build an attraction. Now, it can be a bit hard to hack in the singles world when you're nervous. So if you're meeting someone face to face, even if you're chatting online, it can take a bit of a skill to do that. And the best interactions online is when a conversation flows easily and naturally, and same in person. So I'm going to give you two examples and one big thing that gets in the way of creating a great conversation that builds attraction. And it's one word: assumptions. Assumptions are when you assume something about someone rather than having an open-ended question. So I'm going to give you an example. Say, for instance, I've said that I exercise. I don't say I love exercise, but I exercise. And we've been chatting online, so you send me a message in the morning. Good morning, Deb. How was your morning exercise? I would read that and go, I don't exercise every morning. He's assumed that I've done that. And instead of creating that feeling that you know and get me, you've kind of indicated by the assumption the opposite. And instead of building that, flowy conversation, you've shut it down without realizing it. Also, those one-sided questions like that don't work so well to build a connection. You've left the whole conversation on me, the burden of the conversation, with your one question. A better way of doing this, and I'll give you an example, and any variation. Good morning, Deb. I've had the morning from hell. I feel like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Finally on track, off to work. How's your morning been? Now imagine if I'd had a crap morning too and we're having the same morning. Everything's gone wrong for me. Love to hear what went wrong for you. Even if I hadn't had a bad morning, it's an open-ended question. You go, listening to the start of your day, I feel pretty lucky with mine. What happened? It's warm, it's friendly. It creates an ongoing, interesting conversation beyond the question, and there's no assumptions. Always open-ended questions. Don't lead with the how was your morning exercise type of scenario. It's very limited rather than being open, okay? And the other person might not want to be talking about exercise. They might want to talk about something else. So opening the conversation up rather than making an assumption and closing it will have a much better way of building a connection, right? Because the only way that you can do that online is by that chat. And the better the chat is, the more likelihood you've got of it going somewhere. Now, let me give you an in-person example. I run events and I recently ran a workshop where people had met at some of my previous events. The guy had met the girl on a Rottnest Island summer trip in the middle of summer, right? And he asked her the question, have you been to Rottnest lately? And it shut the conversation down to her because in her head she's going, no one goes to Rottnest in winter. And instead of creating a connection, it had the opposite effect. A better way to create that connection was, hey, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you since that great day we had at Rottnest. What have you been up to? How are you? Really open-ended, really warm, and also shows that you remember the person, you remembered where you met them. And a little bit of a tip here. I see all the time that men often don't remember meeting women. So you get bonus points for remembering. And that's warm and friendly, and it would create a conversation rather than shutting it down. There were no assumptions, there were no closed questions. And the warmth and the friendliness will go a long way in that interaction. Don't underestimate that. So the biggest barrier to good communication is making assumptions. Don't do them. Open-ended questions instead. Simple tip that will change a lot of things for you. My name's Debbie Rivers. I'm a relationship coach, and I hope whatever you do, it puts a smile on your face. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.